Independent sitting versus coming to sitting. Now, right now, we're in the 12 months of webinar series. I'm going into the 5th month, which is independent sitting. The benefits of independent sitting and what is proper independent sitting was covered today. And on May 23rd, I'm going to be covering the warning signs for independent sitting. It is a really crucial time in your baby's life to really pick up, are they going into optimal development? Have they been doing optimal development? Because if they didn't get the horizontals, right, they're not going to start getting the verticals. So when I have people and they go, oh, I can prop my baby 20 seconds into sitting, that's not sitting. Independent sitting means just like that. You're going to be placing them in sitting, but they can sit, right? Not on the edge of a table like this, right? They're going to be on the floor kind of thing. Their feet are going to be out. But at this stage, they're up. You have a pubic bone strike. You're in independent sitting, and your baby is starting to learn, A, come to midline when they're picking up an object, and also crossing a midline, doing these kind of movements, because now their arms can go over their shoulders. This is another big thing that happens during this stage of independent sitting, right? That they're doing these things. The warnings will be, I go to look up and I'm falling back. Because why? My eyes can't cross midline, and so the eyes stay stable, and now I'm going into that, I'm gonna fall over. They'll fall over when they're young, right? But like us, we don't like to fall down. We're big. We don't, they'll go a certain stage and then they'll stop doing. And this is where, again, you start seeing the regressions. Oh, my child used to be able to sit, now they can't. Or you find yourself, you're being more of a helicopter parent. We have to be around them to prop them. And that's not a thing. Independent sitting is when, during this time, is when they start to bounce and the thumbs articulate above the pinkies. These are your feeding skills, using utensils and all that. It's later on where the pinkies can articulate over the thumbs, right? There's different stages that or qualities within the movement that are needed for optimal development. Independent sitting like this, where their arms are down, see where my proportions are at? When my proportions are here, when I have pubic bone strike, this is where my proportions are, unless I have Marfan syndrome or something like that, where I have the long arms, right? Or proportion issues. Arthrogryposis is another thing where you see the short extremities. They'll show up here because eventually this will be the scoot that they need. They should not be propping here. If you're here, you see the arms out to this. This is an independent sitting. This is not going anywhere. These are where you're going to start seeing the complications or here, they do this in therapy. What the heck is that? You will never see a child propping themselves in sitting. They'll float, and they might put their arms down, especially too to get something to the left. This will start emerging into their all fours, but if they want something from the left hand goes down and they reach over. When a child has issues with cerebral palsy, this is where they say, use your left hand, use the left hand. No, prop this. This is what they do, because otherwise I'm going to go so far and I'm going to fall down. Remember, when your child goes from a milestone into a fall, now we have a deviation. What's a deviation? Don't fall. It's not like where I can go in and out and I start playing with, oh, guess what? Coming to sitting is coming up next. So coming to sitting is when a child is on their back, just like this, right? And they see something and boom, they're up. Coming to sitting needs to happen from their backs. It needs to happen in both directions. Again, opens up the pelvis, their visual arcs, because now the vision is starting to arc versus just going up and down, side to side. That's what independent sitting is for. And now they're learning how to get in and out of sitting. What you don't want to see, and this is not coming to sitting, is where my child's rolling over, again, where my eyes off the prize, eyes always stay on the prize with this, and they start going up like this. And guess what? This is where you start looking at W sitting, which I can't do because it hurts, and those kind of complications. Or your child can come into sitting, and they're starting to army crawl and inchworm crawl and all of those kind of complications because they didn't get the sitting milestones right. Learn the milestones. When you learn the milestones, then you're also learning optimal development and what your child needs for the next level, but also to have a good foundation in their movements. You are capable of helping them with this. You're capable of knowing all of this. If you haven't watched the webinars, please just jump in and do the series. It's really important. But the next one is May 23rd in the warning signs of coming to sitting. Thanks. Sorry, the warning signs of independent sitting. Coming to sitting is next month because it's the 6th month. Bye.